Attention, please. This upload is only for educational purpose. No intention to infringe copyrights. Learning English with subtitles. GPITRAL. GPITRAL. Definitely a must-see. Follow us.
I have a gentleman trying to connect through to me, please. And as he's trying to connect through to me, the first impression that he's trying to place in my mind is the importance of a place that he's showing me, which is either Brighton Road or Brighton Street. Brighton Road. All right, my friend. So it seems to be all settling around you.
Just trying to think where we're brought up. Can't recall Brighton Road.
I'm not sure of his family or how it connects to, but he's showing me Brighton Road or the Brighton Road. He talks about someone called John. He talks about someone called Kevin. John and Kevin,
Sort of family that have, I know of, but not regularly speak to.
Right, OK. I'm going to ask a question, sorry. Is that mum or dad's side of the family?
Yeah, we're dad's side of the family.
Thank you. All right, OK. I also want to talk to you about what I feel is like an uncle, still this side of life, who isn't called by his proper name.
Yeah.
I'm going to stick my neck out here. The feeling that I've got is that it's your dad's dad. Your granddad.
OK.
All right? This is the feeling I've got. Now, do you remember Grandad?
Well, from when I was very young, yes. We used to go and visit him, yeah.
You were fascinated by lorries when you were a child.
Yeah. Yeah.
Trucks and lorries.
Yeah, trucks.
Yeah. It's just something that they seem to remember about you being fascinated by trucks and lorries. And fire engines.
Mm. Yeah, definitely.
OK. He's giving me this bizarre memory. Do you remember space dust?
Yes, I do, yeah, definitely.
Can you remember something about, like, when you were little kids, there was something about bags of space dust?
Yes, I used to love the space dust.
Right, OK. It's something that Grandad remembers about you.
Yeah,
all right, OK. I wondered what he was showing me at first. I was getting a bit concerned at one point. Would you please also understand that some kid got sherbet up their nose?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now you know why I was worried about what he was showing me. All right. Well, but you can understand this memory that he's got about some kid that got sherbet up his nose. That was like foaming out the nose. Yeah? All right.
I've got that memory, yes.
Right, OK. Grandad's got, like, a really brief message for you today. It's just like he remembers you very, very strongly from when you were a kid, OK? He's telling me to say to you that he knows that for the last 18 months you've had to be a pretty tough guy. All right? And you get... All right, fella, OK, I'll tell him. Grandad's actually asked me to say to you, he knows that you've got to the point now where you're not actually sure how much longer you can keep this tough act up. All right? You're doing OK.
Mm-hmm.
This is what he's asking me to tell you. You're doing OK. You've got to tell them... Is this your good lady?
It's my wife, yes.
Right, you've got to tell them, don't worry so much about things to do with kids. And he's telling me that he's telling me because he's been with you closely for the last couple of days, this relates to what you were talking about yesterday. Yeah. All right? OK, all right? Don't worry so much about these things, all right? Dad's still with us, yeah?
No, he's not. My dad isn't now, no.
So, you know, you're a grown man, all right? But your granddad's just actually said to me, that's why I couldn't understand whether he meant Dad was this side or not. He said, I know he could do with his dad being around. All right, fella, I'll tell him. And he's telling me, oh, as much as he would have liked to have been able to bolt your dad through, your dad couldn't get through, so he's, like, come for everybody. Grandad's come for everybody. Your granddad's showing me a male figure who's not that much, but a bit older than you.
Yeah.
All right? He's not saying this in a harsh way. He's just saying it in a way that because he feels it has to be said. He is not your dad. So he can't really tell you what to do. and he sort of feels as though that will make a lot of sense to you at the moment.
Mm.
Do you understand that?
Yeah, I've spoken to that person in question.
I don't know if this is a joke or whether this is meant to be serious. Your granddad's just said to me you should have been a copper.
Yeah, well, when I left school, that was the sort of main option that I thought about, yeah. But chose not to.
I'll leave your granddad and your family's love with you. God bless.
Shane, my husband's a little bit sceptical on the spiritualist side. Unless something actually happens to him, he won't necessarily believe it. Will you?
That's right, yeah.
The feeling that I've got is that it's your dad's dad. Your granddad.
Okay. Yeah, the person that came through was my granddad, my father's side. I don't really have many memories of him, but as a young child, I always remember travelling on the train and on a double-decker bus to go and visit my granddad and my grandma.
It's just something that they seem to remember about you, being fascinated by trucks and lorries and fire engines.
He was a very warm person, always spent a lot of time with me, especially fire engines and trucks, which was one of his obsessions, and I picked up on that as well.
He's giving me this bizarre memory. Do you remember space dust?
Yes, I do, yeah, definitely. Wow.
But you can understand this memory that he's got about some kid that got sherbet up his nose and it was like foaming out the nose, yeah?
My granddad used to buy me these sweets, was the old space dust in the packets. I always used to love all the colours, slicking them on my tongue, feeling all the bubbles and fizz. One day I thought I'd try and stick some up my nose and see what happened. Unfortunately, I stuck too much up there, started bubbling, and the memory I have is my granddad telling me to blow it out as quick as I could, all of these bubbles and fizz shooting from my nose.
He knows that for the last 18 months you've had to be a pretty tough guy.
When Colin mentioned about the last 18 months that have been quite hard for me, and he also mentioned children in the same sort of sentence, we've had a lot of decisions to make over the last 18 months. Some of them have been very stressful, and we've also wanted to start our own family, which unfortunately hasn't happened yet. So hopefully that bit of news that Colin gave me, so that I was doing okay and that I was managing quite well, has given me a lot of confidence to, go on in the future and hopefully change the things that have happened over the last 18 months.
Your granddad's just said to me you should have been a copper.
Ever since I was young, I've always wanted to be a policeman. I had interviews to be a special, and it's just never come around, really. I chose to go a different way at 18, and that's the way it's been ever since. But it's quite ironic because being a policeman was one of the things that I've always wanted to do, just haven't got around to it.
I know he could do with his dad being around.
When Colin mentioned about my father, it's something throughout my whole life I've always thought of, because I was very young when he passed away. I've always wondered whether he was around, guiding me, maybe watching what I was doing.
And we're always talking about him, aren't we?
We're always talking about my father as well, yeah. So for Colin to mention that today with my granddad, it's given me a lot of comfort, and just to know that he's around, looking about what we're doing, how we're going about things.
Just keeping an eye on what's happening, isn't it?
That's right. It's just a lot of comfort, really.
My name's Colin Fry, and you've joined me today here on The Sixth Sense. Please join me again sometime soon. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.
I came here as a sceptic. Since the reading that Colin's gave me, obviously it's really made me think about my beliefs. The things that he mentioned were just so true to heart that I can't possibly believe that he could have got that information from anywhere else. So with hindsight, he's totally changed the way I think about the spiritualist world.
And it's just confirmed everything that I've been trying to get Shane to believe for a long time. So yeah, it's a really good day, wasn't it?
Yeah, excellent. Great experience.